So good afternoon to all of you, and a warm welcome to this 60th in the series webinar on a very important topic today. The topic for today's discussion, my dear friends, is fighting depression. And friends, I also wish you a very happy Raksha Bandhan. And I salute the two panelists today, which I will be introducing in some time, and all the participants who have come and joined today on this very auspicious day, being Raksha Bandhan and a festival also. So, friends, when we are talking about depression, we know that this is a very common topic and which is one of the important aspects of mental health, and it affects everybody, whether somebody acknowledges it or whether somebody does not acknowledges it. It affects everybody. As per the statistics, world over, around 300, around 30 million people are affected by depression or similar aspects worldwide. That means around 30 crore people are affected. In India also, the figure is quite huge. But somehow, since last maybe a decade or so, we were not acknowledging that we had somebody had such kind of issues. But now, since last around a decade, things are coming to the forefront, and now people are acknowledging. Thanks to the celebrities who are coming out with their own depressions, and who are coming out with their own state of affairs, and they are telling that how they coped up with. So the case of Deepika Padukone comes to the mind. The case of Kangana Ranaut comes to the mind. Similarly, at the world level, the case of certain other celebrities at the world level also who acknowledged that they were having such issues. Even I was reading somewhere that the lady Diana, the princess, she also was suffering from some kind of the depression problems. Friends, as we know that we have two issues. One is the mental issues, other is the physical issues. So physical issues generally, people rush to the hospitals and to the doctors for addressing physical issues, but mental issues are somehow they are ignored, they are neglected, and because of various reasons, depending upon the culture, depending upon the society, and depending upon see how people will take it over, people just tend to ignore these issues, and then they certain times aggravate also. So whenever a person who's facing such issues, they'll have a number of problems and a number of symptoms which come to the force. These symptoms may include sort of a lack of interest in everything, day-to-day activity also, and maybe the growth and developmental issues also. The person may have some kind of insomnia or a lack of sleep also. He or she may face even a lack of appetite, or the diet may reduce, the body may reduce, and he may be somehow indifferent. He or she may not be willing to be sitting in a crowd. Many a times the person may start weeping or crying, and without any reasons altogether. This may also lead to some kind of aggression also in some of the patients, and maybe some kind of a suicidal tendencies also. There could be occasions wherein the person would harm others or could harm self also. And lately, of course, I was reading somewhere that the person may complain also of joint problems. He or she may not be willing to get up in the morning. He or she may feel exhausted all the time, tired all the time. He or she may be very grim and very sad all the time. So these are the various symptoms, and if somebody is having such symptoms, and these symptoms are not related to any kind of physical ailments or body ailments, then this is an alarm bell that one should be suffering from some kind of depression, and whether it could be a mild depression or it could be a moderate, and sometimes it could be a severe depression also. So it is an alarm, and so that the person could then approach a medical practitioner or even others, so that they can come out of all this. And friends, if we are talking about the causes, because the two panelists will talk to you about the various causes, but in a nutshell, I would just say that the causes are plenty. And the first cause that today, if we go by today's time, is that we are in such a generation, we are in such a era wherein it's a very competitive kind of era. There's a rat race for everything. Everybody would like to go ahead of the other. There's a race between the people in terms of marks. The students have them. There's a race in terms of the money. The cars are big. The houses are bigger. and the relationships are bigger, the marriages are bigger. So with this, lot of expectations, they are arisen. And if somehow some people are not able to get to the expectations, let's say 99% marks, 98% marks, there could be depressions, there could be suicides, and similarly in other aspects also. So the reasons could be multifarious and diverse in terms of there could be social problems. Both husband and wives are working. There is a time when double income people are there in initially sometimes at home. The wives could well take care of the husbands, but today when both are working, who will take care of them? Though in Indian setup, salute to the ladies who they work also, and they take care of themselves also, and they take care of the male members and the family also. But somehow it takes a toll on their body, so they may suffer from depression. There could be conflicts, there could be fights, there could be ego problems, there could be comparisons between people. So these are the various reasons which could be, I mean, these are some of the reasons which could lead to some kind of depressions. I think further this could be highlighted and elaborated by our two learned speakers. And plus, friends, these last 1.5 years since March onwards, we have acknowledged that era wherein due to pandemic, which was never acknowledged earlier. So there was a loss of jobs. People were out there. People cannot come out of their houses. People were dying, and the governments could not do anything. The hospital was not prepared for all this. The infrastructure was not there. So the health issues, plus the economic issues, plus the family issues. So these were responsible, my dear friends, for coming out. And those people who did not acknowledge this, they also went into depression stage, seeing their family members maybe expiring, and seeing their jobs going, seeing the money is not pouring in. So last 1.5 years have been really difficult for all kinds of people, be it the lower, be it the middle, or be it the higher. And if we talk about whether there's the help is available, yes, the help is available. The help is available in form of the allopathic medicine, the homeopathic, or even Ayurvedic. So this is the pathisms which will provide you help in terms of medications. Apart from that, the help is also available from the alternative sources like yoga, pranayam. Pranayam has proven to be very, very good in terms of mental health issues. So these are available, but I think I will not say much on these topics. Just I'll when we are talking about today world over, this has been acknowledged. And apart from the growth in economic aspects, we have started talking about how environment is being impacted. That is one aspect which is coming up. The third aspect which is coming up worldwide is that apart from these two aspects, whether it is only good to be growing economically, or there is some other measurables or some other variables also wherein we should grow. So the countries have come out with happiness index. So those countries, and mind you, if you go by the happiness index, you will see that countries like Bhutan are topping, wherein they are not industrially sound, they are not monetarily very sound, they may not be monetarily or wealth-wise number one, but in happiness they are number one. Similarly, you have Scandinavian countries of Norway, Sweden, Finland. They are at the top of the happiness index. And even countries like Pakistan is faring better than India, though we may say that we are much advanced. So happiness is, this means that happiness is not directly proportional to the creation of wealth. Somehow there may be countries wherein wealth is not there, still they are happy. But yes, there are countries like Scandinavian, if we talk about. So it is again a topic for research, which I am putting it in your mind. So friends, today to discuss all these issues which I have covered in a nutshell, we have two very illustrated and two very eminent personalities today with us, Dr. Akhilesh and Mr. Rajesh Khatri. Just a brief about them. Dr. Akhilesh is presently Associate Professor with the Department of Psychiatry, PGI, Chandigarh, Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. And Dr. Saab is very much experienced in this line, having in terms of psychiatric part, in terms of mental and health issues. So welcome, Dr. Akhilesh, on this podium, and I hope your experiences and will do a lot of good to the participants, and later on creation of knowledge and content for others to follow. The second panelist, my dear friends, is Mr. Rajesh Chandra Khatri. Khatri Saab is a Deputy Superintendent of Police with the CBI or the Central Bureau of Investigation, presently posted at Special Crime Branch 2 of New Delhi. Khatri Saab has been in this service since long, and he has been posted throughout the country. He was in Chandigarh also earlier. And Khatri Saab comes up from a very modest background. He has risen from a modest background in Bihar to today being one of the in the top jobs and doing a lot of good work in terms of solving cases related to crime. And over these years, he has grown himself not only in terms of professional sphere and knowledge, but also in personal sphere, wherein he gained a lot of experience and a lot of educational qualifications during this time period. While he was there and coming from such a modest background, maybe the push and the pull factors, he himself suffered some kind of depression, and thanks to him and hats off to him, he came out of this era of depression, and he cured himself, and presently, just recently, very recently, around 1 month back, he came out with a book, the topic of which is a dynamic dimension of depression. So he has, not only cured himself, he has penned down his experiences and ideas, wherein this will be a good case study that how he cured himself, and whether this it could be very useful for others also. That if one has the will, one can go by and one can follow the same kind of addictions that he himself experienced, and one can learn from his experiences as a case study. So welcome Khatri Saab, and I thank the two panelists for being here on this auspicious day, it being a festival, and to all the participants also. So I'll not take much long, friends. So we may start. Seritim will be that we may start off with Dr. Akhilesh, who will talk about his own experiences at PGI, because PGI is one of the premier institutes of this country in terms of the tertiary sector. But yes, we are getting patients from the 5 states as PGI, and PGI, you are humbled once you visit PGI. The kind of work the doctors put in, the kind of effort they put in, and the kind of selfless service they do it. I mean, it's really salutary. So welcome, and so first Dr. Akhilesh will come up, and thereafter Khatri Saab will talk about his own experiences and his the various the components that he has penned down his books. Dr. Akhilesh, I welcome you on the podium once again and request you to start your presentation. Thank you so much.
Sir, kindly guide me regarding how I should do the.
So there is a button present now.
Okay.
You just click on that button. It's an arrow marked upwards. You just please click on it.
Yes, I have clicked.
So then it may be showing
your entire screen, a window, a tab.
Entire screen. You please click on entire screen.
Yes.
Now, do you see a window out there wherein the PPT is there?
Sir, I see a window where all the participants are visible.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you need to click on that window that you're able to see on your screen, and then the share button in the bottom right corner would be blue in color.
It will be visible. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now, we can see.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible. Now you may go to your presentation and we will be able to see your presentation. Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's visible now, Dr. Sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Chadda, for your invitation and kind introduction. I am Akhilesh. I am working as an associate professor. I am 41 years of age, and Professor Chadda requested me the day before yesterday, and he invited me to participate as a speaker in this session. So I thank him very much. My co-speaker is Mr. Khatri, who will be talking about his own experience. And I was given a brief idea regarding other distinguished participants by Professor Chadda. So I was just thinking till today morning that how should I go about presenting this. So I decided that I will talk in a different way than we usually talk in our academic forums and other scientific sessions. I have basically come up with few case vignettes which I have made with anonymity from my own little experience in this field. And through these case vignette, I will try to tell you how people can present to doctors, which we see in our practice and otherwise in general in society, that how do they present, and what is generally done to help them. And thereafter, I think it will help Mr. Khatri in building and presenting his case. Though I have been not fortunate to read his book, yesterday only I came to know about it. So with this, I am going to start my presentation. As Professor Khatri has already introduced, that magnitude of the problem is very high. 1 in 5 women and 1 of 10 men at some time during their lives suffer from depressive disorder. Though effective treatments are available, but the distribution is not equitable, and due to stigma and lack of facilities, lack of trained staff, lack of awareness, delay in diagnosis, misdiagnosis, mismanagement, a large number of people suffering from these disorders get disabled, and a significant proportion end their life by suicide. And suicide is more at the extremes of the lifespan. It is more in the adolescents and young adults and in the elderly population. Women are more commonly affected than men. I will discuss why, but men end up committing more suicides. There is a large treatment gap, as I had already said. It is more so in low and middle income countries, but it is still there even in the developed countries. One of the barrier which has been recognized by WHO is inaccurate assessment. And they say that in countries of all income level, people who are depressed are not correctly diagnosed. Am I audible, Mr. Chadda? And others who do not have the disorder,
you are audible, sir. You are audible.
Are too often misdiagnosed and irrational treatments are given. This is the reality. So I started thinking that I will talk a little about sadness. Simply having a feeling or emotion of sadness doesn't mean that one is having depression, clinical depression of mild, moderate, or severe in nature, and he should seek help. It is a normal emotional reaction which happens with every one of us in our daily life. For example, we have heard regarding a tragic event in our workplace. We are bound to have this feeling of sadness. At times, it may be an abnormal emotional reaction. The news, the environmental happening, the internal state is such that we are not supposed to be sad, but still we are sad. Then it is abnormal emotional reaction. People say, why are you behaving in such a way? Sometimes emotions are expressed abnormally as sadness. And at times, the emotions and the mood state of sadness is pervasive and persistent. It lasts for weeks to months, and it is not reactive to the changes in the environment, and it is associated with lot more of problems, symptoms, and dysfunction in the sufferer. Then it is a symptom of illness. This term depression, people use it just to express their feeling of sadness. मैं तो depressed feel कर रहा हूँ. Otherwise also, in medical fraternity also, even doctors use it not to mean the clinical depression. But when we talk about the clinical problem of depression, then also this is not a unitary concept. It is a very heterogeneous entity, and it involves lot many presentations, manifestations of varying nature, varying severity, varying dysfunctions with varying causes, etiologies, course, outcome, and prognosis. So I will present in next few slides some cases which will highlight that how this problem can present. The first case, she was just a 13-year-old girl who was very much attached to her father, and the father died suddenly. The girl was suffering from insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, and after the death of the father, they paid a visit to their pediatrician, and there the pediatrician identified and talked with the child, and he found that there was something more than the usual grief reaction. So he referred the girl to our unit, and we examined her. She was having a poor social support. The only social support was mother and her younger brother, and there was no one left from the paternal side, and maternal uncles and aunts, they were living quite far away, and they were not available after the morning rituals were completed. Mother was working in a private school. We admitted them, and we found that due to poor social support and the sudden occurrence, the usual grief work, the mourning which happens in the society, हमारे समाज में जो एक किसी के भी देहांत पे ये सब होता है, that has not happened properly with that girl and the family, and that is why the grief was not resolved. So we didn't give her a label of any illness or depression. It was a grief reaction, but though it was not resolved in the society because of poor social support and the changing scenarios these days, as Professor Chadda was talking in the introduction, we helped her in a playway manner. Our psychologist and our team worked her with 2 weeks, and gradually with the work of art, with music, with expressions, with writing regarding father, she was able to come to the fact that now her father is no more and he has gone, and it is a reality, and she has moved on in the life, and she's studying, and her mother is doing the hard work to bring up the children, and she's taking treatment for her diabetes. So we didn't diagnose her as a depression. We just kept that it was a grief reaction. Though at times people start medications, people start treating them as a case of depression, but that is not the way it should be treated. Second is the case example of an adolescent male. He was from urban Chandigarh, and he was just 17 years of age. He had family history of alcohol use disorder and mood disorders in first degree family members. He presented with decreased activity, decreased sleep, decreased socialization, decreased concentration, poor self-care. After he had a trip to hill stations in Himachal with his seniors and friends, there he consumed or smoked ganja along with tobacco for 1 week. And on examination and investigations, we were sure that he was not having any physical illness. It was just the effect of the drug or substance. We didn't supportive care activity scheduling was done. As he was now free from ganja, he gradually recovered from these symptoms. But looking at his age, his adventurous nature, the family history of substance use disorder and mental illness, he was identified as a high-risk adolescent. Parents and the child was educated, and during sessions we came to know that he has other alternating modes of recreation, though he has high sensation seeking. So now family and they are following those measures to express himself with other healthy ways, and still he is put on surveillance because he is a high-risk child to fall into the trap of substance use disorder and mental illness secondary to it in the future. But other than that, we didn't give him a label, we didn't give him any medication. Third is the case of a property dealer. He was 46 years of age. He was having a tough time financially for last 2 years. He presented with constipation, weight loss, loss of hair, decreased concentration, decreased energy and fatigue, easy tendency to sleep even in daytime. And wife started reporting that he is now snoring in the night. This gentleman had stopped his thyroid hormone replacement, which he was on for last 5 years, since last 1 year. And he thought that for the last 3 years before stopping it, he was having consecutive normal reports, and so he stopped it on his own. So he, on advice of some of his friends, they advised that you are having symptoms which are suggestive of depression. They searched the net, and he sought the help. After taking the history, we came to know about his thyroid dysfunction. His assessment were done. Thyroid function were again deranged. We attributed these symptoms to thyroid dysfunction, and he was started on hormone replacement, a simple pill once a day, empty stomach in the morning, of thyroid hormone, cheap. He improved within 3 months. Along with this, he was put on activity scheduling, lifestyle modifications. Because of uncontrolled thyroid, he put on weight, and because of sedentary lifestyle, this further worsened, and this started causing snoring and some obstruction in the sleep. And that was leading to some apneic episodes in the night, and he was having a tendency to be lethargic and more sleepy in the day. But he was educated regarding the link of depressive symptoms with the physical illness, that in future he is at risk of such illness. These symptoms can recur, but right now these are due to thyroid per se, but independent risk of developing depression is more in those who are having thyroid dysfunction. This time also he was not given a label of depressive disorder, but these depressive symptoms were labeled secondary to physical illness, thyroid. Thyroid is a very common cause in general public throughout the world, where people present with symptoms akin to anxiety and depression. Fourth case is of a 54-year-old school headmaster who presented with decreased sleep, restlessness, panic attacks, decreased concentration, muscle tightness, headache, decreased appetite, sadness after a case of dowry and physical torture was filed against him, his wife, by the daughter-in-law 4 months back. He was not able to work properly at his school. He had recurrent thoughts of court case and was not able to get rid of the problem. He was also a known case of hypertension. He was referred to the psychiatric care by his family physician. After looking at the history, we came to know that he has a particular set of persona. He faced a particular type of stressor of this court case. He developed symptoms where the form, content, and severity was like anyone can recognize that this man was suffering due to this problem only, and the thought, content, the things hovered around it only. But he requested for symptomatic treatment for anxiety and sleep problem. Some benzodiazepine, sedative, hypnotic, safe medications were given for 1 month. He was taught relaxation techniques, Jacobson progressive muscular relaxation. He himself knew pranayama. He was encouraged to do it. He started engaging in these. He had good social network of neighbors, family members, and staff members. They all encouraged him, and they talked with the girl's father, the other family members, and also our social worker was involved. And the family agreed with a mutual consent. They withdraw the case, and the issues were resolved, and he started maintaining them. He was given a label of only adjustment reaction to a particular stressor. Now, here comes the case of a 32-year-old housewife, mother of a 7-year-old son. She was a private school teacher from lower middle socioeconomic status. She had early childhood adversity in the form of alcoholic, abusive father, verbal emotional abuse, financial constraints were present in the childhood, and in her adolescence after menarche, she used to have premenstrual dysphoria. Just before the menses, for the 7 days, she would be irritable, uneasy, decreased sleep, anxiety. Since 16 years of age, she presented with 3 months history of increased appetite, weight gain, increased sleep, crying spells after minor issues, decreased self-esteem, decreased self-confidence, headache, decreased energy, and sadness present throughout the day. But she would feel when the environment would be somewhat light, somewhat encouraging in the surrounding. but she was not able to carry the job and household work properly. She approached their RMP in the community. Certain basic physical tests, including thyroid, etc., and vitamins were done. Vitamins were a bit low. She was given supplements, but even though the vitamins level normalized, her condition kept on worsening. So she was referred for the psychiatric assessment, and she was diagnosed having depressive disorder with atypical symptoms. Here she is a young female with childhood adversity. She was doing good work in spite of this, but she had symptoms which are generally not typical of depression. These symptoms are called atypical, where sleep is more, appetite is more, weight gain is more, some reactivity to the environmental changes is there. These symptoms are more common in females, and these respond well to medications. Physical exercise. Physical exercises have a specific role in the acute stage as well as in the prevention of atypical symptoms of depression. There is evidence for it. And all these treatments were started. She improved completely. Medicines were decreased and they were stopped after 4 months of starting the course. She was educated regarding the risk of recurrence of depressive disorders, the role of managing the various stressors, because there will always be some challenges in the environment, and to cope with them. Early warning signs of relapse were told to her. For prevention, she was advised to do brisk walking while going to school and participation in the exercise at the same time when it is happening in the school, so that she can utilize that time best. And she maintained well. Case 6, a 45-year-old central government officer with history of harsh discipline and critical comments at home by father in the childhood. Father would disapprove of his friends, especially girls in early college years. His participation in the extracurricular activities, especially the cultural activities, was discouraged. जैसा कि सब लोग बोलते हैं, पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे होगे खराब, जो पेशेंट ने अपने शब्दों में बताया जी ऐसा बोलते थे. Pressure for high moral standards and academic achievement. And he had a family history of anxiety in mother. He was very close to his mother. He had mixed feelings of love and hate for the father and teachers and superiors, who he liked, but they were strict. So he would both love and hate them. He developed an episode of depression. We all know the symptoms of depression: low mood, anhedonia, decreased sleep, decreased appetite, loss of confidence, loss of self-esteem, hopelessness, because he was not successful in passing the IIT entrance examination, though he was doing his BSc at the same time. And after that, he recalled that episode when he presented to us later. In the 5 months, he recovered on his own. But during that time, to cope up, he resorted to smoking. I think probably this was a moderate severity episode, and with his own coping, with the support of friends, and he recovered. But he started developing beliefs of decreased self-esteem, decreased self-confidence, worries regarding the future. They have been there, and this love and hate feeling with him since he was an adolescent, and they persisted with him. He got selected in some railway examination for an officer job. He got married after that, but he was fearful of consummating marriage, failed in it multiple times, and started developing again the same symptoms which he had developed 5 years back, 10 years back. And these symptoms were the symptoms of depression, but along with this, he developed death wish also. Wife, because he was not interested in talking regarding these issues, wife reported to her father-in-law, who again labeled him as weak and useless. He was advised yoga, exercise, good diet, and special supplements by his father and elder brother. And elder brother and bhabhi counseled him and his wife. With that, the consummation of marriage happened. But other symptoms over the time kept on worsening. He stopped going to work. They consulted physicians, all the routine tests, they were normal. He was referred to a psychologist. She had, after going through detail in the history, she advised psychotherapy. But this gentleman was not willing to go regularly. Wife tried his best for the sessions, but his symptoms were such that they were worsening. He was having anergia, motor symptoms were very severe, so he was not able to participate in it, and his condition further worsened. He had refusal to eat, and he tried committing suicide by some high lethal means. After that, he was admitted in emergency. He was treated with a course of modified ECT under anesthesia, and it was a brief course for 2 weeks. I think 6 to 8 ECTs were given, and after that he maintained on antidepressant. He started working regularly. He started developing sexual side effects of medicines, which are very common side effects of antidepressant medications. He didn't discuss these with anyone, and he stopped the treatment after 5 months. He maintained well for next 5 years. There were minor altercations with seniors. He was not feeling at ease at the workplace. He got transferred, and after some such minor altercation, and he started blaming himself and for this, and he developed recurrence of symptoms. This time the family was very cooperative. They were all educated, and they were very close together. They recognized these symptoms, wife, and they consulted psychiatrist, because the symptoms were more of cognitive, more of psychological symptoms. Self-blame, decreased self-esteem were there, and he was also reluctant for medications. He was advised psychotherapy, and this time he agreed a short course for it. He was given CBT, and he adhered to it, and he said that he recovered from the symptoms and he started working like before. But this time the psychotherapist also advised him some long-term psychotherapy, looking at his early childhood past and the cognitive biases and distortions in his persona. But he refused. 7 years later, this time he came to us again, recurrence of symptoms without any apparent stressors, and he started feeling worthless, decreased self-esteem. He started thinking he's just stuck in government job, and now he has developed hypertension also. On his own, this time he started taking antidepressants, but didn't much improve. And after taking a detailed history, he was again advised to go for psychotherapeutic treatment methods and yoga, along with moderate level of aerobic exercises. Now he is following that, and he is managing well. So this case highlights a case of depression where there have been early childhood adversities, more of psychological symptoms, psychological predispositions for depression, though he developed some episodes after trivial stressors, but thereafter the episodes developed on minor stressors and otherwise, and he was I think he was doing reasonably well. Case number 7, she was a 64-year-old female. She was illiterate. She was from hilly regions of Kinnaur, and her son was a doctor himself. She has had many episodes of depression for last 20 years before presenting to us, and there was a specific pattern to it. These depressive episodes occur in a seasonal pattern, and they lasted for 2 months only in the winters, and she would recover on her own, but over the years they were becoming irregular features, and now she was finding it difficult. Her son recognized it, and consultation was given. Initially she was treated with antidepressant SSRI medications, but looking at the seasonal pattern, they were advised chronotherapy, and she was a motivated women, and with the help of educated family, they were able to do the bright light therapy and early induction of sleep, early rising and putting herself in the bright light for 2 weeks. Then she would recover, and now the family is well educated, and they are managing. Each time they expect these symptoms to recur because of the biological predisposition. No long-term medications are required, and as they recognize it early, they start light therapy early, take some medications, and the symptoms are less severe and they remit early. Now this is the case of a 75-year-old elderly male who is a case of diabetes and hypertension, and he was a smoker also. He developed a gradually progressive symptomatology characterized by low mood, marked psychomotor retardation. He was just bad-mouthed. Even his facial movements were very slow, and they were very few. He had anhedonia. He has no pleasure in any activity, anything. And he would say कि सब कुछ खत्म हो गया है, मेरे अंदर का आत्मा सब गल गया है, my stools have frozen, there is nothing in me. And he had refusal to eat, marked weight loss, and his sugar were highly fluctuating because of this. For the last 14 months, he gradually developed these symptoms over 14 months. He was from a upper socioeconomic status. His detailed investigations were done, and MRI showed white matter intensity. There were changes in the upper part of the brain, the cortex of the brain, which are caused due to diabetes, hypertension, and smoking, etc. They have tried all sort of Ayurvedic, homeopathic, and food supplementation. Family had a stigma for seeking psychiatric help. They were advised admission. They didn't return. Then he had an episode of hypoglycemia. His level of consciousness got altered. He was brought to medical emergency. He was saved there, luckily. After intensive counseling and education, family members got him admitted. But because of his condition, he was given ECT because he was not able to take. He was only on IV fluids and rice tube feeding. And he recovered with six ECTs only. And he started consuming food, moving around the ward, will go to prayers, and would talk to the family members, started eating, started taking his medication. His physical parameters were controlled. He was advised behavioral activation. He was advised whatever sort of exercise engagement could be done according to his age and the situation, because the exercise, general movement, these things are more helpful in acute phase as well as in the prevention, in the maintenance phase of depression, if they are done to elderly people. More helpful for elderly people, most helpful, than for adults, than for children. So physical activity as a treatment method, and after one is out of the acute situation, then it works well, and is somehow maintaining well. Then we had a case of 42-year-old housewife who presented with continuous depressive symptoms. She had controlled hypothyroidism also. There was no family stressor, but she had a family history of bipolar disorder in maternal side and also depressive disorder. She also had a personal history of 2 postpartum episodes. After delivering both of her children, within 4 to 6 weeks, she had developed mood symptoms, severe mood symptoms, for which she was started on treatment. And there were agitation also, some delusions, hallucinations also in them. And this time it was diagnosed as a case of bipolar depression. This depression is somewhat different from a depression coming with depressive features only again and again. She has had some hypomanic symptoms in the postpartum also. So this depression is a part of bipolar illness where mania and hypomania, upside of the mood also occurs along with depressive, just opposite to that. And here the course, outcome, prognosis and treatment is different, though she presented with depressive symptomatology. So am I audible, Professor Chadda? Professor Chadda?
Yeah, Dr. Saab, very much audible, very nice. The presentation is going very well, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So we can see that there is a lot of heterogeneity in what we call as depression and its presentation. हमारी जो सोसाइटी है उसके अंदर अगर कोई हमारी माँ बहन गांव में जो परेशान है बच्चों की पढ़ाई को लेकर, पारिवारिक समस्या को लेकर, या कोई भी अगर अपनी बात को कहता है कि मेरा मन दुखी है, मेरी भाई मदद करो, मुझे ये चीज अच्छी नहीं लगती, मैं परेशान हो रहा हूँ, तो वो उसका मजाक बनाने लग जाते हैं। वो कहते हैं हम सब कुछ पैसा कमा के ला रहे हैं, आपको सब कुछ दे रखा है, बेटे पोते हो गए, सब कुछ है, तुम खुश क्यों नहीं रहती, ऐसा क्यों नहीं करते। तो पर वो फिर अगर अपने ही दुख को अगर शारीरिक तौर पे बताएंगे कि जी मेरे तो सर में बहुत ज्यादा दर्द होता है, मेरे तो शरीर में सत नहीं रहा, मैं चल नहीं सकती, नींद नहीं आ रही, बेचैन होगी, धड़कन बढ़ रही है, पैनिक अटैक हो रहा है, जिसे लोग समझते हैं कि हार्ट अटैक ना हो जाए, तब वो उनको हेल्प के लिए ज्यादा लाते हैं। यानी कि हमारे यहाँ जो हमारी मन की पीड़ा है वो अगर तन की पीड़ा में एक्सप्रेस हो, स्पेशली डेवलपिंग सोसाइटी में, तो उस पर ज्यादा ध्यान दिया जाता है और बाद में पता चलता है कि भाई इसको साथ में डिप्रेशन भी है। तो प्रेजेंटिंग सिम्टम्स हमारी कल्चर के अंदर सोमैटिक हो सकते हैं, शारीरिक हो सकते हैं, जैसा प्रोफेसर चड्ढा कह रहे थे, परंतु बाद में जब हम डिटेल में जाते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है कि बाकी सब फीचर तो दुनिया में हर जगह होते हैं, वो यहाँ भी होते हैं। हमने कई केसेस से देख लिया है कि शुरुआत में कोई ना कोई लाइफ इवेंट होता है, बड़ी कोई बात हो जाती है, जिसके बाद ये सब बातें शुरू हो जाती हैं। डिप्रेशन का एपिसोड, शुरू के एपिसोड या कुछ एपिसोड अपने आप भी, इसकी ऐसी प्रवृत्ति है कि काफी सारे एपिसोड्स लंबे चल लेंगे पर अपने आप भी रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि इंसान अपने रिसोर्सेज से, बॉडी अपने आप भी रिकवर करती है जैसे किसी चोट से करती है। परंतु उनमें जिनके अंदर एक वल्नरेबिलिटी, एक डायथिसिस है, जैसे कि किसी को बचपन के अंदर बहुत सारी एडवर्सिटी मिली है, बहुत सारी तरह की चाइल्डहुड एडवर्सिटी जिसके बारे में आजकल बहुत बात होती है, एंड इट इज ए प्रिडिक्टर ऑफ poor physical health, poor adult achievement, and all type of mental morbidity, including depression, which is the most common one, depression and anxiety. और सबके अंदर भगवान ने रेजिलियंस दी होती है, माँ बाप या किसी केयर गिवर से अच्छा रिलेशन, एक होल्डिंग हैंड, अपने अंदर के बायोलॉजिकल थिंग्स, वातावरण में अच्छी चीजें, अंदर की कॉग्निटिव स्किल्स, फाइटिंग स्किल्स, जिसे हम रेजिलियंस बोलते हैं। तो जब एडवर्सिटी और रेजिलियंस में रेजिलियंस जीत जाता है तो रिकवरी हो जाती है, एडवर्सिटी हाई हो जाती है तो स्ट्रेस का लोड बढ़ जाता है। तो उस स्ट्रेस से, टू दैट स्ट्रेस आवर बॉडी रिएक्ट्स बाय रिक्रूटिंग इट्स फाइटर्स, इम्यून सिस्टम गेट्स एक्टिवेटेड। जैसे कि कोरोना में हम आजकल सभी टेस्टों का सबको पता चल गया, IL-6 और ये सब CRP, वो डिप्रेशन में या जब कोई स्ट्रेस ज्यादा लेता है किसी भी तरह का, साइकोलॉजिकल भी, फिजिकल भी, किसी इन्फेक्शन से, तब ये सारे सिस्टम्स बढ़ते हैं, कोर्टिसोल हार्मोन्स, और ये सब बढ़ के हमें थोड़ा डिप्रेसिव फीलिंग देते हैं कि भाई वातावरण के अंदर एडवर्सिटी है, जीव को चुपचाप बैठ जाना चाहिए, उसको अपनी एनर्जी बचानी चाहिए बुखार में, किसी एडवर्सिटी में, ताकि जरूरत पे काम आए। बट व्हेन दिस प्रोसेस बिकम्स क्रॉनिक, नॉट एक्यूट, फॉर एक्यूट दैट इज एडेप्टिव, बट इफ इट बिकम्स क्रॉनिक, वो चलता रहता है, तो वो बीमारी का रूप ले लेता है। और फिर जो ये क्रॉनिक रिलीज इन हार्मोन्स होता है, हमारी जो होमोसेपियंस का जो इवोल्यूशन है, द ह्यूमन बीइंग्स इवोल्यूशन, that has two important features, that we are able to stand, we are bipedal, we can work with our fingers, opponents function of fingers and hands, we can manipulate tool and things, and other is the development of most recent part of the brain which we call as cortex, cerebral cortex, frontal brain। हमारे अंदर ब्रेन के अदर पार्ट भी है जो ऑटोमेटिकली काम करते हैं, सोते टाइम हमारी सांस चल रही है, धड़कन हो रही है, काम छन रहा है, वो लोअर एनिमल्स में भी होते हैं। फिर कुछ पार्ट्स होते हैं इमोशनल ब्रेन के, एमिगडाला, एमिगडाला और हाइपोथैलेमस और जो है हिप्पोकैम्पस, वो होते हैं रेप्टाइल्स में भी, वो इमोशनल ब्रेन के पार्ट्स होते हैं। और एक होता है फ्रंटल ब्रेन जो कि कॉग्निटिव पार्ट होता है, जो कि कॉग्निशंस को, विचारों को प्रोसेस करता है, जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आती है उसके हिसाब से वो नीचे के सेंटर्स को कंट्रोल करता है। तो व्हेन द ह्यूमंस हैव इवॉल्व्ड, बट द एनवायरमेंटल चेंजेस हैव इवॉल्व्ड मोर fast than that in the last 500 years or so, more than 500 years, and we are able to mismatch the expectations, the load put by the environment, by the evolved ability of our developed cortex, so that it can manage the stress load, the load on the emotional system, and at times we are not able to manage it, and then we land up into depression. So now the scientists have worked a lot, they have developed what all hormones, what all circuits and parts of the brain are involved in manifestations of brain. But these understanding explain a part, like immune system explains a part of the manifestations of the heterogeneous presentation of depression, endocrine system represents a part. Similarly, किसी भी डॉक्टर के पास जाओगे वो कहेगा जी मुझे दवाई क्यों दे रहे हो, कहेंगे जी आपके हार्मोन्स गड़बड़ा गए हैं, ये इनको ठीक करेंगे, कि डोपामीन गड़बड़ा गया है, सीरोटोनिन गड़बड़ा गया है, नोरेपिनेफ्रिन, बट दैट आल्सो इज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन ए सबसेट ऑफ population of depression, not everyone that is involved there, but not in everyone. So like the presentation is heterogeneous, the symptoms are heterogeneous, and for index case they are very special out of the whole baggage of symptoms. Similarly, the involvement of various biological systems which are there in the brain and body, that is also there, but the valence of one to the other system is more or less in a particular case. This is why no patient is same and no single treatment fits all. and more research is needed on this. Now the issue of adherence to the treatment is very important. हम किसी भी क्रॉनिक इलनेस को ले लें, किसी भी बीमारी को, we don't like to take medications for long. It is a general fact, and non-adherence is the rule. Side effects are one of the important factors. हम मना नहीं कर सकते, उस वजह से भी नॉन एडहेरेंस होती है. डायबिटीज में भी होती है, बीपी में भी लोग छोड़ देते हैं, थायराइड में भी छोड़ देते हैं दवाइयां. बट नॉन एडहेरेंस टू एक्सरसाइज, टू गुड वेज टू मैनेज सेल्फ, सत्संग में एंगेज होना, पॉजिटिव टॉक सुनना, वो भी लोग बंद कर देते हैं. ये भी रिसर्च कहती है. गुड डाइट लेना, गुड लाइफस्टाइल को फॉलो करना, इन सब को भी लोग बंद कर देते हैं. उनमें भी नॉन एडहेरेंस उतना ही कॉमन है जितना मेडिसिन से है. स्टिग्मा, डिप्रेशन पर से, and for the treatment like ECT, like antidepressant, there is lot of stigma, क्योंकि लोग सोचते हैं सबको डॉक्टर्स यही दे देंगे. ECT is given to a very 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 few minority of the patients. जैसा कि मैंने केस एग्जांपल दिया, जो सेंटर्स अच्छे से वर्क करते हैं वो केस बाय केस वैल्यू पे एज ए लाइफ सेविंग मेजर इसको यूज करते हैं, अंडर एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस, मॉडिफाइड एनेस्थेटिक टेक्निक्स with good monitoring, to bring out one from the depression. It is specifically effective for severe motoric symptoms, when one refuses to eat, become rigid, and when one is having severe suicidal ideations because of endogenous, बिना किसी stressor के depression आ रहा है. But after that, to maintain him well, once he has come out of it, we need medications and other treatment measures, diet, exercise, psychotherapy. Psychotherapies are a very important mode of modalities. हम जब डिप्रेशन की इटियोलॉजीज की बात करते हैं कि किस कारण से डिप्रेशन होता है, जेनेटिक्स होती है. बहुत से लोगों में ऐसी दिमाग की और शरीर की रचना होती है कि दे आर मोर प्रोन टू डेवलप ए हेवायर्ड रिएक्शन टू स्ट्रेस. परंतु उन सब में डिप्रेशन नहीं हो जाता. अगर उनको अर्ली लाइफ बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस हो, गुड प्रोटेक्टिव फैक्टर्स ना हो, तो उनमें वल्नरेबिलिटी बन जाती है. बार बार बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस हो तो उनमें पहला एपिसोड आता है, फिर बार बार कम उससे भी डिप्रेशन आने लग जाता है. तो वल्नरेबिलिटी पे एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स कैसे प्ले करते हैं, सोशल फैक्टर्स कैसे प्ले करते हैं, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. और वहीं पे इंपॉर्टेंस आती है साइकोथेरेपीज की. बिकॉज ऑफ अर्ली चाइल्डहुड एक्सपीरियंसेस, गुड बैड अदरवाइज फ्रॉम द सोसाइटी, हमारे अंदर जैसे एक शरीर का ढांचा होता है, वी डेवलप अवर मेंटल मेकअप, साइकोलॉजिकल ढांचा, जिसके अंदर हमारे पास हमारा एक कॉग्निटिव स्कीमा होता है, एक ढांचा बन जाता है जिसके तहत हम खुद की सेल्फ इमेज देखते हैं, दुनिया को देखते हैं, आने वाली इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोसेस देते हैं, उसको मीनिंग देते हैं, रिएक्ट करते हैं, गुड और बैड मेमोरीज को इंटरप्रेट करते हैं, दोबारा वैसा चैलेंज आता है. तो वहां पे अगर कोई गड़बड़ी होती है जो कि बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम्स में हो रही है, जो मैंने ब्रेन में बताए हैं, इमोशंस के, एमिगडाला, हिप्पोकैम्पस और अपर ब्रेन में कॉर्टेक्स, तो वो कॉर्टेक्स में काम करता है, दिमाग को वहां से ठीक करता है. थेरेपी, कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी, मेडिटेशन, वेरियस फॉर्म्स ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल थेरेपीज, विपासना बुद्धिज्म में, वो सब वहां वर्क करती हैं. वहां पे फिर अगर इंसान ट्रेन होता है, प्रैक्टिस करता है, तो अपने लोअर इमोशनल पार्ट को कंट्रोल कर पाता है. उसका बायोलॉजिकल बेसिस है. और यहीं से हमें पता चलता है कि प्रिवेंशन और अर्ली आइडेंटिफिकेशन बड़ा जरूरी है, क्योंकि हम किसी के अंदर वल्नरेबिलिटी है जेनेटिकली, उसे नहीं रोक सकते, बट हम एनवायरमेंटल एडवर्सिटीज को इन जनरल, बिकॉज कि वो एडवर्सिटीज जो हैं वो डिप्रेशन के अलावा बहुत सारे बैड आउटकम्स कर रही है, फिजिकल हेल्थ के, सोशल हेल्थ के, सोशल अचीवमेंट के, इकोनॉमिक. तो डिप्रेशन भी उस पूरे पैकेज का एक पार्ट बन सकता है. अच्छा बचपन दें, अच्छे माता पिता को ट्रेनिंग दे, माता स्वस्थ हो, स्कूलों में अच्छा माहौल हो, डिलिंक्वेंसी कम हो, स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट्स कम हो, ट्रेनिंग अच्छी हो, एजुकेशन के अंदर सिर्फ एक हम टेक्निकल एजुकेशन के साथ बाकी चीजों को भी इन्वॉल्व करें, उनको जीवन का हिस्सा बनाएं, तो वहां पे प्रिवेंशन हो सकता है. अगर वो नहीं कर पाते या फिर भी हो जाता है तो अर्ली आइडेंटिफिकेशन करें, ताकि जल्दी किसी भी चीज पे ध्यान देने से बार बार एपिसोड्स नहीं होंगे. तो और बाद में हम प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स लेंगे तो उसका कोर्स एंड आउटकम ही बदल जाएगा. जैसे कि कैंसर के अंदर अगर बहुत जल्दी पता चल जाए फर्स्ट स्टेज में, तो लोग 20-20, 30-30 साल भी जीते हैं अच्छी प्रोडक्टिव लाइफ. सो एटलीस्ट बच्चों में हम स्कूल मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम करें. टीचर्स सबसे बड़े टूल हैं, घर में माता पिता और बड़े बुजुर्ग बड़े टूल हैं जो अर्ली इन चीजों को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. मदर्स की स्क्रीनिंग हो, पोस्टपार्टम डिप्रेशन बड़ा कॉमन है. कुछ पॉपुलेशंस पर्टिकुलर वल्नरेबल है, इनके अलावा एल्डरली लोग आज के बदलते समाज में, उनमें फिजिकल इलनेसेस होती हैं, अकेले होते हैं, चिंताएं होती हैं, वरी होती हैं, सोशल आइसोलेशन हो जाता है. वो बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट है। मेडिकली इल लोग, क्योंकि उनके अंदर डीमोरलाइजेशन सा हो जाता है, क्रोनिक इलनेसेस ज्यादा हैं, कुछ मेडिकल इलनेस इटसेल्फ डिप्रेशन का रिस्क बढ़ाती हैं, जैसे कि डायबिटीज के लोगों में आम जनता के अपेक्षा ज्यादा डिप्रेशन मिलता है, थायराइड में, कैंसर के लोगों में। तो कुछ ट्रीटमेंट पर से डिप्रेशन करते हैं, जिससे हमें पता चलता है, जैसे कि हेपेटाइटिस सी का अच्छा इलाज आ गया आजकल, पर उसमें जो इंटरफेरॉन थेरेपी दी जाती है वो डिप्रेशन कर देती है, क्योंकि वो उन्हीं मैकेनिज्म्स पे काम करती है इन्फ्लामेटरी जहां से डिप्रेशन होता है। तो वो इस चीज को भी बताती है कि डिप्रेशन, फिजिकल इलनेस, इन सभी में बॉडी में चेंजेस आते हैं और बायोलॉजिकल बेसिस भी है। तो मैंने इन सब चीजों की बात की है, पर यहाँ पे सोशल फैक्टर्स बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जो सोशल सपोर्ट है, सोशल सपोर्ट को इज रिगार्डेड एज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इन प्रिवेंशन ऑफ सुसाइड एंड इन हेल्प सीकिंग। इवन अगर किसी को एक्सरसाइज प्रोग्राम में एंगेज किया है डिप्रेशन के ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, अगर उनके दोस्त परिवार वाले ले जाते हैं, अच्छा सपोर्ट है, तो ही उनकी ड्रॉप आउट कम होगी। ये सब चीजें तक भी रिसर्च हुआ है। एक्सरसाइज, as I have already told you, it is helpful both in acute treatment and prevention. जब सीवियरिटी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाए और बंदा ना कर पाए, तो जैसे ही वो इंप्रूव होने लगता है तब इसे इंस्टीट्यूट कर दें, और प्रिवेंशन में तो इसका रोल है ही, पर वहां भी ड्रॉप आउट्स बहुत ज्यादा है। जैसा मैंने पहले बताया, बुजुर्गों में ये ज्यादा फायदा करती है, ज्यादा प्रिवेंशन करती है, ज्यादा ट्रीटमेंट में योगदान करती है दूसरे मेथड्स के साथ, या अकेली जब हल्का हो, बजाय की व्यस्क के, बजाय की बच्चों के। ओबीज लोगों में ज्यादा यूजफुल है, जिनमें एटिपिकल डिप्रेशन आता है, जैसा उसकी स्कूल टीचर को बताया था, वहां ज्यादा यूजफुल है। और मॉडरेट लेवल तक करें तो ज्यादा अच्छा है, और पूरी दुनिया में देखा गया है कि हर प्रकार की संप्रदाय, एज ग्रुप, सब में यूजफुल है। सिमिलरली, specific techniques of yogasan and pranayam, they have been tested in India. NIMHANS have done good work with depression patients, and they have found these things very useful in treating the acute symptoms, decreasing the symptoms, especially in those where medications are used less, or those who are not suitable candidates for psychotherapies, because psychotherapy specialist कम है, access कम है, महंगा होता है इलाज। तो प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन, पोस्टपार्टम, वो सब योगा से काफी बेनिफिशियल इफेक्ट्स पा सकते हैं। इफेक्ट टेंड्स टू परसिस्ट इन शॉर्ट टर्म ऑल्सो, अगर हमने लिया या फिर नहीं कर रहे तो भी वो इफेक्ट परसिस्ट कर जाए, पर इसमें ज्यादा रिसर्च नीडेड है। हठ योग को, ध्यान को, प्राणायाम को, कुछ चीजों को स्टडी किया गया है डिटेल में, पर और भी ज्यादा टाइप, बहुत तरह के स्कूल है योगा के, उन सब में भी रिसर्च, क्या टेक्निक कब दें, किस पेशेंट प्रोफाइल में ज्यादा यूजफुल है, कितनी दें, कब तक करें, और वो किन में ज्यादा काम करती है, जैसा किसी दूसरे ट्रीटमेंट के साथ, जनरल एक्सरसाइज, दवाई के साथ, वो इसमें भी है। राइट, इट हैज बीन सीन दैट इफ mother is malnourished, society is malnourished, more of physical problem, more of psychological problem, more of social problems, वो सब होंगी, और bad outcome achievement होंगे adults के। So ये बाई डायरेक्शनल रिलेशनशिप है, ये जनरल फैक्टर है जो प्रिवेंशन में काम करता है। ट्रीटमेंट में कई केसेस में ऐसा देखा गया है कि विटामिन डेफिशिएंसी होती है, कईयों में वर्क करती है, कईयों में साथ में एडिटिव फैक्टर्स होती है। सिमिलरली, these minerals which are available in good diet, but at times the diet is deficient, क्योंकि डिप्रेशन में एपेटाइट कम हो जाता है, या पहले ही हमारी बैड लाइफस्टाइल और हम अच्छा खाना ना खा रहे हो, तो डिप्रेशन को प्रेसिपिटेट करने में एक इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर बनती है। जो मैंने एक केमिकल हाइपोथेसिस बताया मोनोअमीन का, उनमें जो सेरोटोनिन वगैरह की जिनमें कमी हो जाती है, वहां पे देखा गया है कि उनमें ट्रीटेड पेशेंट्स में, ना कि जिनको ट्रीटमेंट नहीं दिया गया, जिनको दवाई से ट्रीटमेंट दिया गया है, उनमें अगर ट्रिप्टोफैन को डेफिशिएंट कर दिया जाए तो वो दोबारा डिप्रेशन में चले जाएंगे। तो उनमें ट्रिप्टोफैन का भी एक रोल है, जिनको एक बार एंटी डिप्रेसेंट मेडिकेशन मिल चुकी है। सिमिलरली, एसिडिलसोइल मिथियोनिन नाम का एक सप्लीमेंट है, अमीनो एसिड, उसका रोल है इन प्रिवेंशन ऑफ सुसाइड। अगर हम सुसाइड में कोई चीज देखें कि क्या चीज काम करती है रिसर्च में, जिसका महत्व है सोशल सपोर्ट के अलावा, साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर्स के अलावा, तो वो डाइट में ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड है, जो कि डिप्रेशन में भी और सुसाइड पर से में काम करता है। सुसाइड एक ऐसी चीज है जो डिप्रेशन के लोगों में, अन्य मानसिक बीमारियों में ज्यादा होती है, बट सुसाइड की इंडिपेंडेंट भी जेनेटिक प्रीडिस्पोजिशन होती है, एंड अदर कॉजेज आर आल्सो देयर, सोशल फैक्टर्स आर आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट। सिमिलरली, सब्सटेंस एब्यूज एंड डिप्रेशन, स्पेशली अल्कोहल, दे आर द फेस ऑफ द सेम कॉइन। अल्कोहलिक्स लोगों में ज्यादा डिप्रेशन होगा, जो डिप्रेशन होंगे वो अल्कोहल से सेल्फ मेडिकेशन करेंगे, और ऐसे विशियस साइकिल बन जाएगा। वो बड़ा ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो फैक्टर, उनसे दूर रहना। सोशल सपोर्ट के बारे में मैं बात कर चुका हूँ। इफ एंड इट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रेजिलियंस फैक्टर एंड इट इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट प्रेडिक्टर मॉडरेटर ऑफ आउटकम for a person suffering with depression if he receives other treatments. If it is he is having good social support, then only those treatments will work best, and it is most important in prevention of suicide. So with this, I have put all my points which I wanted to convey at the beginning. So it is a very complex phenomenon, not a unitary phenomenon. Similarly, manifestations are not unitary. Similarly, the pathophysiology is not unitary. So one treatment doesn't fit all. रिसर्च में दूसरे ट्रीटमेंट्स भी आते हैं, पर ट्रीटमेंट गाइडलाइंस में एक्सरसाइज, योग, प्राणायाम, इनको ज्यादा हाईलाइट नहीं किया जाता है. I think in future they will be highlighted more. With this, I thank you all for giving a chance to listen to me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Akhilesh. Very nice presentation, very comprehensively dealt up, and I think the case studies which you have highlighted, they were very informative, and they gave us, lot of food for thought. Because I think most of us may be covered in one or the other case studies. Very comprehensive. Thanks a lot for this wonderful presentation, Dr. Saab. So now I request Shri Khatri Saab to take it over from here and to speak about his own experiences, how he came out of depression, and his book that he has just written on depression. So Khatri Saab, you may please.
Yes, sir. I am ready. So, on my own experience of suffering from excruciating depression, I wrote a book, and the book is very comprehensive. The book, a new outlook on depression based on personal real experience and experiment, a dynamic dimension of depression, real experience and experiments with the depression. I have written a book, and the book is very comprehensive about all aspects of depression. I am highlighting main chapters of the book. My first chapter of the book is what is general view of depression. Second chapter is what is depression, the symptoms of depression, how does it incapacitate our mind and body, and what are the causes of depression. Third chapter is depression as known in history, how our forefathers suffered from depression. Fourth chapter is biological aspects of depression. Fifth chapter is my experience and experiments with depression. Sixth chapter is compilation of 5 major bouts of depression in my life and their natural cure. Seventh chapter is unique thinking, rumination. If I had not done this in the past, it could have been much better, and dawning double, triple imaginary personality. Eighth chapter is experience of perceiving every person with a strange eye. Ninth chapter is a suicidal tendency faced by me in my life and how to get rid of suicidal thoughts naturally. And 10th chapter is my experiments with antidepressant medicine. 11th chapter is my experience with ACT, electroconvulsive treatment. 12th chapter is my experience with treatment by psychotic drugs to alter dopamine level in blood. 13th chapter is sleep and depression, how sleep affects our depression. 14th chapter is test for determining depression as per my own experience. 15th chapter is natural treatment for depression. 16th chapter is how to control worry and anxiety naturally and start enjoying the bliss of life. 17th chapter is how to control the outburst of too much anger naturally. 18th chapter is some special advice to students to get rid of depression. 19th chapter is natural method of suppression of depression in women. 20th chapter is a discussion on usefulness of homeopathic and biochemic medicine for the treatment of depression. 21st chapter is usefulness of Ayurvedic medicine, a herbal supplement for the treatment of depression. And 22 is concluding, 22nd chapter concluding tips to battle with depression. I'm reading some of the, what is general view of depression. Depression stands for something sad, something appalling, something mournful. When your anxiety is not under your control, you maybe perceive that you are suffering from depression. Depression may also be feeling of unhappiness that lasts for a considerable period. Depression may be understood in the practical sense as during the summer season, when we experience lots of heat, perspiration and uneasiness, we all family members feel depressed at that time. And when there is a rain soon thereafter, the atmosphere becomes cool and calm, and we know our momentary depression. Depression is a persistent feeling of sadness, chagrin, despondency, loss of interest. Depression is dark and negative. In depressed state, a person experiences a prolonged feeling of sadness and hopelessness and does not find interest in general activities of life. Depressed person blames himself for all types of misery suffered by himself in life. The term depression owes its genesis to Latin word deprimere. Deprimere consists of two words Latin de, down from, and primere, to press down. So deprimere denotes a person who has been pressed down, who has been tortured and humiliated by various circumstances in the life. The term gets its genesis from the modern number of 20 depression. Earlier to depression, melancholy word was known, and depression is a modern term. What is depression? And depression, money, mind, emotion, relationship, and spirituality all are dented and remain in low mood. The mind is incapacitated because a man remains engrossed in thought, daydreaming, lowered attention, low memory, low intelligence quotient. He shows conspicuously low performance in all walks of life. Persistent depression weakens our immune system. Behavior is dented by lower motivation, loss of ability, experience pleasure and sweetness. The body is also dented by headaches, stomach, fever, and muscle tension. The relationship is dented by tendency to withdraw, and a depressed person becomes isolated and loneliness. Depression can also create sleep disturbance. Too much sleep or too little sleep. Depression can also make us feel overwhelmed with anxiety, worthlessness, hopelessness, and one might think of ending his life by taking extreme step of committing suicide. So, what are the symptoms of persistent sadness, unhappiness, dimness, hopelessness, feeling of profound grief, gloominess, despondency, loss of interest in day-to-day life, loss of interest in pleasure, sexual activity, insomnia, hypersomnia, fatigue, loss of energy, feeling of unworthless, self-guilty, inappropriate, diminished ability to think, recurrent thought of society, self-harm, loss of memory, and disorder in thought, lack of liveliness, tiredness, lethargy, loss of appetite, no interest in food item, feeling of hopelessness, persistent and neurotic anxiety. When anxiety is not under your control, no control over anxiety, too much physical lean and thin body, decreased interest in friend and activity, difficulty in concentration, boredom, ache and pain, increased crankiness, hostility, anger, outburst of anger, shouting, screaming, crying, reckless behavior, social withdrawals, a strange and unusual behavior, irritability, sullenness, hostility, impulsiveness, low intelligence cost, extreme restlessness, persistent view of life, easily distracted, blaming yourself after ruminating over the past event, obsession over negative experience or thoughts, slow and soft speech and thinking, decreased performance at a school, college, or work, loss of self-confidence and willpower, subjective agitation, uncontrolled anger, perceiving everything, a whole human being, animal with a strange eye, abnormal stress, frequent crying, extreme mood swing, abnormal and weird movement of leg, hand, and head, shaking leg or hand involuntarily. So I have developed a unique taste for determining depression as per my own experience. There is a special chapter, taste for determining depression as per my own. I am reading this chapter. What are the taste as per my own experience? Depression. This you cannot find anywhere. The first test of depression is whether a person is sad and has a loss of interest in life for a considerable time, and whether his sadness is persistent or not. If the period of sadness and gloominess stretches for a longer period on the part of the sufferer, it shows a sign of depression on his part. The second test is whether rumination on the part of the sufferer is voluntary and controlled or not. Rumination is part of our daily life. Person from all walks of life, whether he is educated, not educated, farmers, housewife, scientist, professor, student, businessman, everyone ruminates in his life about different subject concerning his life and profession. Rumination means some thinking, pondering, arguments and counter argument over my any subject repeatedly. Under depression, it is repetitive and obsessive over some negative and distressing issues of our life. A student ruminates about his lesson, course, lecture, examination, and problem faced by him during his life. Great scientist Sir Isaac Newton discovered the law of motion and universal gravitation only on account of rumination or able incidents in his life. Many scientific discoveries and mathematical formula of the world are based on rumination of different scientists. A professor also ruminates what lesson to be taught and how to give a better lesson to a student, how to do scientific discovery. And a normal person ruminates over any subject in controlled and voluntary manner. But in the case when the rumination is not controlled, involuntary, persistent, and obsessive on the part of the subject, it indicates the person is suffering from depression, and the rumination is not normal. But the involuntary rumination started in my life since 1988, and controlled escalation of rumination occurred in my life 93, 1997, 2003, when the bout of depression was at its peak in my life. The third test is whether a sufferer who has anxiety and fear in his life has control over his anxiety or not. A normal person has very much control over his anxiety and fear, while an abnormal person does not have any control over his anxiety. It is known as anxiety neurosis. If a person loses control over his anxiety and fear, it is sign of abnormality and depression. The fourth test is whether the victim has abnormal and unrelenting symptoms of loss of appetite and loss of sleep, sleep disturbance, tossing, turning, not able to get back to sleep for considerable time, and the same may be interpreted as a sign of depression. The habit of oversleeping for a considerable period is also a sign of depression. The first test, whether a person is showing symptoms of too much soliloquy and murmuring, this is a sign. A normal person also shows a sign of self-talking in a controlled manner. But a person suffering from depression and anxiety neurosis shows more degree of soliloquy, talking to oneself, mumbling and murmuring. The other test of depression, whether the victim remains neat and clean and maintains good hygiene. If the victim does not maintain neat and clean, does not maintain good hygiene for a considerable period, it may be inferred that he is suffering from depression. 7. If a person takes pride over doing some act by him in the past, which was something onerous and impossible, it may also be sign of depression. 8. If the victim is showing sign of too much tolerance and tendency to shun competition, to avoid competition, it may also be sign of depression. 9th, if the victim abnormally loses self-confidence and loses all hopes of whether his problem, sickness would ever be overcome, he is suffering from depression. When I was suffering from constipation in 1988 to 90, I had lost all hopes and lost my self-confidence so much that I could never win over my constipation. In 10th, if the victim is seeing everyone with a strange perception and trying to find out the same type of symptoms and problem in everyone's life, it may be in part that he is suffering from depression. I used to see everyone with a strange perception in 1988, whether he was suffering from constipation or not. I also used to see everyone with a strange, whether he is studying or not at all time or not. I wanted to see every person studying all time in his life. Symptoms of social withdrawal are also indication of depression. If the victim is socially is not easily mingling with friends, relatives, and family members, showing sign of distance from them, it is a sign of depression. A depressed person maintains social distance with his family, friends, and relatives. If a person remains happy on the occasion of sadness and showing symptoms of sadness on the occasion of happiness, festival, marriage, social gathering, they are also indication of depression. 13th is sub-depression. Depressed person themselves feel that ECT treatment shall be useful to them. Some type of feeling that ECT shall be useful to depressed person is sign of depression. Some depressed persons think that if he had not done this in the past, it could have been much better. What he do in the present is not imperative for such a depressed person. Such a type of rumination, reminiscing, and repentance over past events are also indication of depression. 15th, person suffering from so does not take out his livelihood by themselves, and they always try to depend on others. Such type of behavior to depend on others is a sign of depression. self-deprecating, self-loathing, self-blaming, feeling of inadequacy, feeling of unworthiness, feeling of worldly sign of depression, feeling of hopelessness, feeling of pessimistic, low esteem, obsession or negative is also sign of loss of memory, inability to concentrate, forgetfulness, and not remembering even things of daily life, not thinking unequivocally, not making timely decisions, also indication of depression. 90, a recurring thought of suicide also sign of depression. Person feels low esteem, feel worthless, blame himself for all his present losses, showing unusual and uncontrolled anger towards someone, and physical symptoms of anger like tensing of our body, pointing fingers towards someone to whom we are showing anger is also sign of depression. A depressed person show his anger towards his spouse, parents, a relative, another person to whom he had difference. Some depressed person, after recollecting events of past, think that he should have vented much more anger towards the person in similar incident to whom he was fuming and making anger. Showing too much anger is also sign of disorder in thought is also sign. A normal person has symmetry and coherence in his thought process, unlike an abnormal person. Depressed person show a tendency to speak a lot on different subjects concerning his life. Keep quiet for a consider. They talk a lot, sometimes talk very well, but whatever he says does not make much sense. Speaking a lot on different subjects and keeping quiet is also sign of difference. Tendency to take food quickly, not staying at one place and moving from place to place, physically lean and thin willy. Weird movements of hand, legs, constant thinking, loss of energy, constipation are some of the physical symptoms of depression. Now, I want to talk about my experience with antidepressant medicine. I am sharing my unique experience of antidepressant medicine taking by me in the different way. The first time I was treated with antidepressant way back in 1990, without any argument with the doctor, I took the medicine for the 2 months. Medicine, first of all, broke my sleep cycle. I used to sleep well with my heart content. After 90, I had the habit of sleeping, oversleeping. When I first experienced a nervous breakdown in 1989, I did not get enough sleep and resulted in depression escalated on my part. Antidepressant medicine reduced the urge of appetite and foods on my part, and resulted I become very lean. Antidepressant medicine even could not reduce my habit of rumination, argument, counter argument on different topics of my life, which occurred to my mind. And I found that every medicine, in the place of suppressing my depression, escalated my depression. I also found that medicine escalated the urge of suicide on my part. After seeing a lot of antidepressant medicine, I discontinued depression after 2 months on the onset of treatment in 19. I took antidepressant once again in 90 before joining CB. For I thought that I was suffering from depression. I needed some allopathic medicine for complete cure of all types of mental depression. My friends and relatives also meant the allopathic medicine would heal my depression permanently. I thought that medical science has improved a lot and new medicine for depression would provide me great relief and heal my depression. I took medicine in I was unaware of what was happening to me after taking antidepressant in 1997. My performance in the classroom was praiseworthy. While my performance in the physical training periods were abysmally low due to harmful side effects of medicine. I was not performing the tasks of physical training periods up to the mark. I lost the urge of appetite of foods. My body was turning lean and thin. Rumination, argument, and counter argument mind also escalated involuntarily. I again consulted a psychiatrist at Shastrinagar, Ghaziabad. I showed him all medicine and prescriptions of psychiatrist of Patna who treated me. And he told me that the doctor prescribed you antidepressant. I narrated him my ordeal and symptoms and asked him for prompt recovery. He also prescribed antidepressant medicine. My condition worsened and CBI Academy, Ghaziabad. There was no amelioration in my health and unwanted rumination happening over my mind continued unabated. The side effect of medicine on my mind and body was so that I still feel the pain and pang of antidepressant today when I am writing this book. Now, several books and YouTube channels suggest that antidepressants help a patient in the long run. I would advise everyone to stay away from such type of hormone medicine. No medicine in the world can change our mood and cure our. We will have to seek treatment from nature, good food, exercise, sunlight, messaging, aromatherapy, social mingling, games, sports, and music. Allopathic doctors call antidepressants scientifically proven. Scientifically proven stand for evidence-based and empirical, based on observation, experiment, and testing. Scientifically proven is also based on law of causation. The same is universally true. Antidepressant medicine might have tested over some people across the globe or some time for their proven therapeutic effect, and thereafter drug company call them scientifically proven. What I spent my life that after undergoing antidepressants were shocking, staggering, and devastating. I would always advise everyone that reading this book to refrain from antidepressants. Thou my single case cannot form the basis of a general and scientific conclusion. Several other people, after undergoing frightening and experience of antidepressants, if they share this harmful regret, it would be concluded that medicine are not useful in the cure of depression. However, I find support from renowned doctor Mr. Belle Bonappa Hegre. He is a medical practitioner, owns a medical degree from Stanley Medical College, Madras. He also owns a Master of Doctor degree from King's George Medical College, Nangla. He is also credited with Fellow of Royal College of Physicians, London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Dublin. He has also authored several books on medical practice and needs. He has also promoted several health and therapeutic video on his YouTube channel. He has also advised in his YouTube channel, cure depression without medicine. And this must be watched by all depressed persons across the world. There is a treatment of depression without medication. In this video, it is highlighted how prolonged use of antidepressants escalated the urge of suicide in depressed person, and the same was felt by me on many occasions. I further get support from American lady psychiatrist Grace Elizabeth Jackson in her book Rethinking Psychiatric Drugs, and supported by research and documents. She has elaborated how and why psychiatric drug therapies have contributed to a standard of care that frequently does more harm than cure. I further got support from American doctor Eric Richardson, who promoted a similar view in his YouTube channel video. 7 ways to treat depression naturally without. To treat depression naturally. Research also shows that frequent use of antidepressants shorten the life expectancy for suffering from depression and die prematurely. Antidepressants also increase the risk of cardiac attack. My experience with ECT, electroconvulsing treatment, this type of treatment was very harmful. Examine food intake and natural appetite of persons suffering from depression before ECT. Examine the work capability of and performance of persons suffering from depression before ECT. Examine talent and skill of persons suffering from depression before ECT. Induce ECT shock therapy to these persons. Examine those persons after ECT. The result would be as such, as per my own experience. After ECT, food intake and natural appetite will vanish. After ECT, this person would be too dull and lethargic. However, there would not be much painful effect on the talent and skill of the concerned person after ECT. My experience with treatment by psychotic drugs to alter dopamine level in blood. I have had a scourging experience of taking psychotic medicine to alter the dopamine level in my blood. I was way back in Mahdwar at Jaipur. My colleague working CBA branch Jaipur brought me before a psychiatrist, Mr. Vyas at Jaipur branch. He conducted blood test on me. He said that there was a substantial increase of dopamine in my blood, and I was suffering from schizophrenia. He recommended medicine to drop dopamine level in my blood. As discussed, the brain dopamine function as a neurotransmitter, a chemical released by neuron to send signals to another nerve. Dopamine is concerned with the perception of reality and reward motivated behavior. Dopamine is an organic chemical of the cathomine and phenolphthalein family. It is an enzyme synthesized by removing the carboxyl group from a group of precursor becoming L-dopa. As such, dopamine contains the natural talents of every person, the talents which God has bestowed on us and which we inherit from our parents, and talents which we gained by years of study and training in the school, college, and university. After taking medicine for a month, I lost so much natural talent. It was difficult on my part to write anything convincingly. Good drafting was my asset, and I lost good drafting skills. Drug of reduction in dopamine in blood caused forgetfulness in my person. It brought symptoms of Alzheimer's and dementia in my person. I lost my self-confidence. So I get support from American psychiatrist Grace Elizabeth Jackson. She, after observing deadly side effect of psychiatric drugs on several mentally ill persons, wrote a book, Drug-Induced Dementia, Perfect Crime. In America, psychiatrist Grace Elizabeth Jackson has written a book, Drug-Induced Dementia, Perfect Crime. And she is in that instant book has described in great detail how pharmaceutical drug cause brain degeneration, premature death. She has also highlighted in the how antidepressant medicine, antipsychotic, anxiolytic, mood stabilizer, and instrumental drugs are causing dementia in persons suffering from depression and mental illness. And doctors treating mental illness that such drugs are committing crime. Dementia is a loss of cognitive function, thinking, remembering, and behavioral ability, and it impairs a person in discharging his daily course of life. This book is reported to have sold manifold in America, and she faced criticism and the ire of several persons in America on account of this book. I also suffered from dementia on account of consuming antidepressant medicine in 1997 and psychotic drugs to change dopamine level in my blood and physiology as described by Dr. Vyas of Jaipur way back in those. I did not regain my lost talents till date. So there is a many example like Sir Sri Vasisht Narayan Singh, a famous mathematician of Bihar, who taught mathematics in various universities of India abroad, University of Washington, IIT Kanpur. He suffered from schizophrenia and he was admitted to Central Institute of Psychiatry, Kake in 90, remained there till 90. It is a big question, which drug cured him from schizophrenia. Noted Bollywood film actress Praveen Babi also suffered from schizophrenia. She also got treatment of from a spectrum of doctors from India and Nepal. But every type of electropathic aggravated her immune, and she died in 2005. There is a one chapter is a sleep and depression, how sound sleep control depression. There is a special chapter, natural treatment of depression. I have developed a natural treatment of depression at my own.
Khatri Sahab,
Natural.
excuse me, Khatri Sahab, if you can now talk about, now we know the symptoms and everything what you faced, and I think it's an audio and describing how you are describing it. Really, we feel sad about you, how you got about it. But then, if you can just put some light on the alternative methods which you devised to come out of it, apart from medication. Kindly put some light.
Natural treatment of depression, adequate rest and sleep. The first threshold in natural therapy to treat our depression is rest and sleep. Immediately after suffering from a nervous breakdown arising out of too much mental and physical labor, a person should take a sufficient amount of rest and sleep. Rest and sleep allows our body to repair themselves and our brains to consolidate our memories and process information. Sufficient amount of rest boost our energy. Sleep and rest recharge our system, boost up our immune system too. Adequate sleep and rest strengthen and invigorate the appetite and cognitive function. Nutritive and dynamic food. Nutritive must be provided to person from suffering from depression. We have to recognize the importance of wonders of fresh fruits, grain vegetables, sprouted grains, walnuts to beat depression. Person suffering from nervous breakdown and especially shows symptoms of deficiency of vitamin B, and their food must be rich in vitamins B. Some foods encourage serotonin or body. Serotonin is a mood changer and neurotransmitter and makes us feel good, cheerful, and happy. Foods rich in tryptophan, which the earlier doctor was also talking. Food rich in tryptophan, the amino acid, omega-3, folic acid, vitamin D, facilitate the wonderful neurotransmitter serotonin. And therefore must also eat a sprouted grain, including a sprouted wheat, to get adequate amount of vitamin C, vitamin B. Milk and dairy products are largest source of containing a high amount of tryptophan, which has traits to heal our depression naturally. Folic acid is also another natural type of compound chemically known as vitamin B, which has proven attribute to fight depression. Folic acid is water soluble. Folic acid rich food are dark green leafy vegetable, beans, peanuts, sunflower. Our food must also contain sufficient amount of selenium and magnesium, which the earlier doctor was also talking. Selenium and magnesium to overcome depression. Dark chocolate, avocado, whole wheat, spinach, quinoa, almond, cashew, black bean. Vitamin C deficiency also linked to depression. Vitamin C also rich food are cow milk, goat milk, ricotta, cheese, salmon. Vitamin B12 deficiency may also cause mood disorder and depression. Vitamin B2 and other constituent vitamin B play a role in producing brain that affect mood and other brain functions. We must take food rich in vitamin B12. Vitamin D is also manufactured naturally on our body. Zinc also we know are anxiety and depression. Food rich in antioxidant are also helpful in fighting depression. Foods rich in chromium uplifts serotonin levels in our body. Such food are capable of fighting depression. Foods rich in SAMe are also helpful in fighting this. Full form of SAMe is S-adenosyl L-methonosyl. SAMe is a produced in our body as an amino acid. It has been found to regulate key function of living cell. SAMe act as a balancing chemical that stabilize the mood. Foods rich in SAMe are green vegetable, fresh fruits, nuts and beans. Foods rich in serotonin like cheese, pineapple, toffee, salmon, nuts and seeds are turkey are helpful in combating depression. Foods rich in melatonin like tart, cherry, corn. Foods rich in GABA supplements are also helping in getting depression supplement. Certain food must also be avoided to combat. We must avoid processed food, canned food, foods containing too much sugar, too much salt, and preservative and cold drink. We must take a limited amount of sugar and salt to fight depression. We must also avoid white flour and maida in our flour. Third, exercise, yogasana and pranayama. My own experience showed that sustained exercise is an effective treatment to fight depression. Physical exercise, the importance of exercise in the reduction of depression has been recognized by allopathy too. We may start from a low intensity regular exercise to moderate exercise to fight depression. Meeting exercise goal, yeah, challenge may one can boost up our self confidence. We must also avoid exercise when we have a fever and other severe body. We should refrain from doing too much exercise. Exercise of depressed person must stretch for 1 hour in maximum. Research and studies shows yoga therapy can also help with stress, anxiety, and depression. Yogasana is a gentle exercise that encourages body meditation and control physical. Yoga encourages body awareness, relieves stress, reduces muscle tension, strain, and inflammation. It also calms and soothes our nerve. Regular practice of yogasana can reduce tension, anxiety, and depression. Meditation also bring a person in the present moment and allow them to integrate this. Controlled focus movement through yogasana can help strengthen our body and mind. Next natural teaching pranayam. Pranayam is expert technique of breathing developed by ancient Indian yogi over a period of pranayam is the practice of breathing control in yoga. Messaging our body through while is another natural therapeutic measure to combat. In depression, nervous breakdown, the nerve cell of a person body controlling our mind turns very weak, making us worried over a small and trivial issue. Message can reduce the built-up stress in our body that leads to energy running through our veins. Message also reduce the level of cortisol hormone in our body, enabling us to fight off anxiety. Messaging therapy can help relieve tension in our muscle and connection. Message therapy in coping of the has been recognized by the Chinese since 3,000 years ago. Aromatherapy, natural therapy, aromatherapy, like messaging also proves sublime in calibrating symptoms of depression. Aromatherapy is a holistic healing treatment that uses natural plant extract and different blends of oil to promote the health and well-being of depression. Aromatherapy uses aromatic essential oil therapeutically to improve the health of body, mind, and spirit of depressed person as well as person suffering from nervous breakdown. Next treatment is sunlight. Sunlight is a fifth natural treatment of suffering from. We all know that therapeutic way of sunlight when our body is where sunlight is naturally produce vitamin D in our exposure of sunlight helps to release serotonin, endorphins that lead to happier mood. Sunlight we take 5 to 10 20 minutes in daily in summer season and half an hour to an hour in the winter season. Too much unprotected exposure sunlight can cause skin damage, eye damage, immune system. We should not expose our body to too much sunlight. Only for 10 minutes, 5 minutes in the summer season and half an hour and 1 hour in the winter season. Massaging our body in the sunlight in the winter season gives unique natural chemistry and fortitude to fight depression. Prayer to God and meditation. Meditation and prayer to God is also helpful to transcendental meditation, though to form a next treatment, occupational treatment. I have written that occupational treatment is one of the prominent natural cure depression. Depression can occur to anybody, but high ambitious poor person are more susceptible to depression. Depression person often tries to depend on others. A depressed must be taught talent and a skill to eke out his living by himself. In the occupational treatment, mentally ill persons are engaged in meaningful work, which fetches them money, and they are taught to become self-dependent. More money will motivate him to do more meaningful work in the future, and such type of depressed person give him a hilly church. Even in the ancient Greece, mentally ill person were treated by providing job as a therapeutic value. I also regularly used to take tuition after 19. I also work in medical shop as per my part of job. Little income earned through tuition and medical shop motivated me to give me a solid foundation to get a better job through competitive examination in the future. When I used to get remuneration from tuition and entry part time in medical shop, I remained very exuberant on my salary day, and depression was gone on that day. Similarly, when I got the job of CBI sub inspector, I remained very exuberant on salary day. Whenever I earned through money through traveling allowance, daily allowance, and reward, it almost evaporated depression for a fortnight and built up extra poise in my personality. And consultants with expert psychologists, consultants with expert psychiatrists, as psychologists, also help many person in removing symptoms. We also know the difference between psychiatrists and psychologists. Psychiatrists are trained medical doctors that can prescribe medication for the cure of depression and mental. Psychologists focus extensively on psychotherapy and treating emotional and mental suffering in patients with behavioral intervention by talking with the patient, understanding their content. I had consulted one clinical psychologist in 1993. I am recapitulating a conversation with the group of two clinical psychologists of Patna University, Patna. Two clinical psychologists, what are your problem? I told I remain very sad and dejected. Clinical psychologist told there is no point that you remain so sad and dejected at your age. You are such a young boy. Can you tell the exact cause of depression? I am ashamed of telling what my problem. I don't muster so much courage to speak my problem to you in front of so many. There is no woman member present here. You can share your problem. Actually, I told that actually I suffer from nightfall and I'm very weak on the loss of sperm on daily basis through nightfall. Two clinical psychologists, nightfall is not any disease at all, a cause of any type of sickness or weakness whatsoever. This is a natural process at your age. This occurs to everyone in your age. This does not cause any type of weakness in any manner. I told them, you look at my body, I'm physically lean and thin only because of nightfall and unnatural fall of sperm from my body. To clinical psychology, nightfall, any issue of natural and unnatural form from the body does not cause any type of weakness. You see the example of oxen and bull. The sperm of oxen remain with their body throughout their life, and the same does not fall out either naturally or artificially. However, bulls equate their sperm both artificially and naturally on daily basis. Bulls also eat less than oxen, but who remains strong and sturdy? You see, the bulls remain stronger and sturdier than the ox throughout its life, despite losing its sperm daily on daily basis. If a man undergoes vasectomy and there is no chance of semen sperm going out from his body throughout his life in any manner, but even in such type of person are not stronger than sturdier than married person. So fall of semen and sperm from the body does not cause any type of weakness in any man. What is the cause of weakness in my man? Your body is physically lean because you don't take nutritive foods and exercise regularly. At your age, people generally remains physically lean and thin, and your body does not have any infirmity, any unusual weakness. I see every person physically lean suffering from nightmare. What is the cause of this type of unique perception? To clinical science, this is a dopamine related perception. Dopamine in your body has been set in such a manner that you perceive every person physically lean and thin was affected by night. What is dopamine? The dopamine is a brain chemical and hormone and neurotransmitter. Dopamine hormones are related to our perception, pleasure, motivation, and reward. I also remember what you were not getting a job or a work. What is your qualification? I am doing Bachelor of Arts from Patna. After a year, I shall get my degree. Since the cost of education in Patna is very high, I am unable to complete my graduation without earning, and my father is very. After two clinical psychologists told after graduation, you appear at competition, get a suitable job. Every meritorious student get a job after being successful in the competition, and I can do it too. Meanwhile, we start doing some tuition or school going children to eke out some income. You do some part-time job in Patna to supplement your income, support your study. You must also study till graduation as minimum qualification. Most suitable government job is graduation. I remain very worried whether I shall get job or not. But I how psychotherapy helped me. Psychotherapy helped me a lot. Such type of conversation will help me immensely. First time in April, I realized that nightfall is neither any disease nor any cause of weakness after discussion with the two psychologists. They are all natural treatment
डॉक्टर
में
डॉक्टर राजेश खत्री
engagement
can
of
you hear
mind
me?
in other activities, entertainment, sports, and other than those who cause depression. We should engage our mind in some other activity which caused our depression. This is another type of natural treatment for depression. We should identify the real cause of depression. If the cause of depression is too much study, too much mental labor, we should scale down the hour of study and mental labor. If the cause of depression is too much physical, we should take rest and sleep more. We should identify the activities, sports, and entertainment which bring more color and happiness. As far as like playing cricket, chess, cards, and playing cricket matches and watching it made me very exuberant. Whenever we felt we may indulge in such activity which make us happy and give us more pleasure. I used to become overjoyed when I found Indian cricket team winning in any form of cricket match against a foreign country. Playing cricket, chess, cards, any sport may not fetch us good marks in any exam, but the same could certainly help us in winning our depression in big way. Suppose if a person got deprived to make by making too much mental labor, unfortunately he did not get it. He just started doing his own business by investing some in doing business, no qualification. Business distracts our attention from study and makes us engaged in some other activity if the cause of our depression is too much study. Uh, Reading inspiring story to person who has struggled in their life, motivational books, or watching such inspirational or motivational movie. Change of outlook, attitude, thinking, and behavior. Sometimes change in outlook, attitude, thinking, and behavior proves useful in reduction of symptoms of depression significantly. Most of the depressive events happen in our life due to ambition, lust, and grasping for money, too much mental and physical labor, not fulfillment of ambition, resulting in frustration in our life. India is a vast country and having so much population. Every year, more than 50 lakh students get a degree in different fields of education. Getting a job is very daunting task, and not getting a job and seeking a bleak future causes depression to several students. फिर marriage is also natural treatment to cope when we consider depression as illness. We require a nurse who would properly take care of the mentally sick person. Marriage provides a natural cure to depression. A mentally sick person requires proper nutritive food, celebrities, climate, clean clothes, a neat and clean house and bathroom, various types of entertainment, everything fresh. A housewife can care for a depressed person like a nurse in the hospital. He would take care of his food and water. A depressed person requires regular messaging of whole body to strengthen and invigorate his weak nerves. The wife can take care when required to message in better manner. Interest in love, sex would divert the attention of depressed person towards some other things which cause him depression and may be much helpful in reducing all symptoms of depression. I want to read this last chapter, concluding tips to battle with depression. Last chapter is excess of anything in bad. In Sanskrit, it is said, Ati Sarvatra Varjit is the golden route to beat all types of depression. Excess of physical and mental labor is the primary cause of depression. As illustrated by me in my preview, we must shun excess physical and mental labor to beat. Complete cure of all symptoms is just a myth, as per my own of different phases of my depression, government different narrated in this book. We cannot cure all symptoms of depression completely by taking the sort of any means of treatment, either homeopathic, allopathic, naturopathy, Ayurvedic, surgical. Homeopathy and Ayurvedic treatment depression taken by me significantly reduce all symptoms of depression from my personality in 93, 1994. Also, but I was not saying 99. I tried allopathic medicine on the pretext of complete removal of symptoms of depression promptly, and the result was horrific. Allopathic medicine had a terrible harmful side effect on my mind and body, shown narrated in the book. The cytopic medicine given to me on the pretext of dopamine, changing the dopamine level on the prescription of significantly robbed of me of my natural talent. Natural homeopathy and treatment would significantly major symptoms as narrated in the book. We must also show due patience when we are taking treatment of depression. Natural treatments will take time. It will not bring metformin suddenly, but will considerably reduce most of treatment. Don't expect a miracle in the short span of time. When we are taking the natural treatment of depression, always be occupied with some work to beat depression. If we are a student, we should be occupied with our study, classes, lecture, games, and sports and current affairs, and leave no scope for depression to afflict and trouble us in any manner. Similarly, a businessman should be occupied with professional work and service holder with his official duty. A job holder should be concerned with his job and professional. Depression causes more harm to those persons who have no work at their hand. Always take sound sleep and sleep ranging from 8 hours to 9 hours daily to beat all types of deprivation of sleep for 1 day, 2 days, a few days will not cause us much harm. But prolonged deprivation of sleep may relapse and trigger that symptoms of the once again if we get cured of depression. So we must have sound sleep at night to avoid any symptoms or new phases of depression. We should adopt natural means to get sound like physical exercise, sports and cycling. You must take healthy, wholesome, nutritive foods to remain fit in time to send our depression miles away. Our food must be whole grain, rich in antioxidant, fresh fruits, green vegetable, sprouted grain, dry fruits, etc. We must shun alcoholic, narcotic, sleeping pills, any type of preservative, cold drink, any artificial and natural drug to fall into trap of depression. There is an important place for games, sport, healthy entertainment, films, festival, music, social media platform apart from study, bookish knowledge and mental labor. These people who study all day and night and don't take nutritive food, don't take proper rest and don't have any interest in music, sports and entertainment are more susceptible to depression as per my own. So we must also devote our time to game, sports, healthy entertainment, film, festival, music besides study to avoid depression. Always take rightful exercise, yogasan, meditation to get rid of depression. Exercise, yogasan, meditation must be sustained and never. Too much exercise must be avoided. Always shun allopathic medicine, electroconvulsing therapy, and surgical treatment on the treatment. As they are harmful and cause extensive damage or mind. Such type of harmful treatment lay too much emphasis on theory and don't have much. They attribute imbalance in brain chemicals alone responsible for depression in human being. The hypothesis of such treatment is that imbalance in brain chemicals can be set right only through medication. They hold that the increase of dopamine in human beings is alone responsible for psychotic disease like schizophrenia. But in practice, chemical imbalances can be set right even without medication in course of time. Natural methanol depression suggested by we can also set right a chemical imbalance in our life. An increase or decrease in dopamine in human being can occur to everyone due to different circumstances in life. Dopamine contains the natural talent of a person, talent bestowed upon by God and parents to a human being, a talents which we acquired during different phases of our. No attempt should be made to alter dopamine level in our body, my mind, which may cause substantial development to our nature. Homeopathy, biochemic, Ayurvedic medicine, and herbal supplement like St. John's wort and ginkgo biloba, etc., may be useful, effective, and harmless on alleviating symptoms of depression. But these medicine must be taken in consultation with registered homeopathic and Ayurvedic practitioner. Person suffering from depression always ruminate over past events and always focus their attention on their various regards in made in the past. We cannot improve our past as past events are closed chapter. We live in the present and can improve only present and future events of life. We have to learn from our mistake made in the past to improve and better our present and future life. Must get solace that many great personalities of the world also suffered from depression and some sort of grievous mental depression like nervous breakdown, also got rid of their dark phases of their life and later on by their creativity and ingenuity set a benchmark in their field for others to follow like Bill Gates, Abraham Lincoln, Leo Tolstoy, Napoleon Bonaparte, Hitler, Sir Isaac Newton, Vincent van Gogh. List are countless. Many Hollywood and Bollywood actor, actress, businessmen, and many politicians, and many other scientists, sports personalities across the world suffer from depression. But after their cure, they set a benchmark in their field by their unique achievement. So we should not lose heart after suffering from depression. At the same time, we should, when anyone suffers, we should seek natural treatment to preserve their natural talent. They should allow allopathic medicine, ECT, and surgical treatment on account of their severe deadly harm. When we are worried over anything, we must see a silver lining in all our problem and seek the best solution for all our problem. Simultaneously, we may be ready to face the worst. We may try to work on better the worst situation arising out of our worry. We should spend our hard-earned money wisely and never squander it. Persons suffering from they must keep their anger in control and get treatment for their high blood pressure through natural means. Never think that we have done something wrong in the past. Always think that we were too innocent and not aware at the time of committing measure. The present time is the right time to change our behavior, outlook, and health. There is a scope of improvement in each field of our life in the present and when we are employed and holding a job, there is no requirement to study anymore unless we are preparing for any other examination and competition. We cannot maintain the same pace of tempo of hard labor in a study after getting the job we did during a school and college day. After getting the job, we should come out from the world of books, library, course, lesson, examination, too much study, and also devote our time to our work and profession, wife, children, pets, music, sports, TV channel, visit to sightseeing places, zoo, museum, and other entertainment, etc. My book is very comprehensive. Anyway, if anyone gets through my book, he will find. And in my book, I have also narrated how to get sound sleep apart from physical work. Our bedroom should be dedicated zone place of sleep. Too much noise, light, and distraction can make sleep harder. We should make our room as dark as possible. This black curtain also helps in getting good sleep. Sleeping at a regular time, getting up at a regular time helps us in getting good sleep. Our brains respond very well to routine. Keeping the same times of going to sleep and waking up is maintained and recorded by our brain. TV, electronic devices, mobile phones, and any other device making sound be put off at the time of. The tick-tock sound of an alarm clock, a wall clock may also disturb us, and this type of clock should not be placed in the sleeping bed. Avoid remembering and recalling stressful events before sleep. Meditation and deep breathing before the sleep also help in getting good. Always sun, processed food, canned food, too much salt and too much sugar food which affect our sleep. Take dinner 2 hours before sleep for getting good sleep. Avoid caffeine-induced drinks in the evening for getting sound sleep. Avoid taking drugs and alcohol for getting sound sleep in the night. Avoid allopathic and sleeping pills for getting good sleep, which is very harmful and may escalate societal urges in human beings. Homeopathic and medicine for inducing sleeps are harmless, must be taken under the strict supervision of a registered homeopath. Don't sleep with a person who has a snorting problem. Mosquito also create problem in getting good sleep. We must keep mosquito net to keep mosquitoes away. Other means to keep our sleeping room mosquito free of mosquito away from good sleep. Drinking hot milk before sleep also makes us sleep early. Keeping our legs in the hot water for some minutes before sleep also induces us to good sound sleep early in the night. Relaxation of body at the time of sleep is also helpful in getting sleep. Yogasana, pranayama also improve our sleeping problem and win our insomnia. Avoid long time sleep in the daytime for sound sleep in the night. Deep breathing before going to bed also helping in good sound sleep. Food rich in serotonin like cheese, pineapple, toffee, salmon, nuts and seeds and turkey are also helpful in inducing sound sleep to a depressed person. Foods rich in melatonin like tart, cherry, corn, asparagus, tomato, pomegranate, olive, grapes, broccoli, cucumber, walnuts, peanuts, sunflower seeds, etc. are also helpful in good sound sleep at night. That is all.
Right. Thank you, Khatri Sahab. Very comprehensively done, and you've narrated your own experiences. So I would really like to thank the two panelists today. Uh,
I would advise everyone to read my book for more knowledge.
So I've already shared the name, the dynamics of
A dynamic dimension of depression. I have written this book.
Dimensions of Depression by Shri Rajesh Khatri. This book is available on Amazon also, and ebook is also available. So if you feel like you can go through this book, and I'm afraid we don't have time for question answers now because we have already run out. And the festival is on. So I request, there were certain queries. All of you have my number. You can post those queries on 85.
If you want more natural treatment of depression, want to learn, so you should consult me through my email address.
Yeah,
I will.
that I'll circulate. I'll circulate Khatri
In
Saab
this book also written that my mobile number, my email address are also shown.
all out there.
Like my experience with depression has made me an expert on depression.
Expert in this regard. So I think we'll not be able to take queries as of now. So you can just ping me on my number. You've all got my number. So and I'll share the queries, or you can directly also. I'll share the numbers of the two learned speakers. So just to conclude and end up, sum up. Depression is a it's a problem which is persistent now, especially due to the lifestyle changes that have come up with the lot of running around and with the rat race towards getting rich and all this with lot of competition, and this is for all the people, the students and the grown-ups, the adults, and at all stages. And somehow the lifestyles have also degenerated. So both. And it should not be taken that firstly we should be able to recognize that this is a problem, and then there are help is available both medically also and in the alternative formats also. So those of you who know certain people who are under this, so they could be guided upon and the help could be given. So friends, thank you so much for joining this. This is today's Raksha Bandhan and I have to leave also. We have run out of time. So thanks to all of you for joining on this auspicious day. I really thank the two panelists, Shri Rajesh Khatri ji and Dr. Akhilesh, who consented and joined us today, and all the wonderful panelists. I thank the IHRDI team comprising Sanya, Dr. S.K. Sharma ji, Saibi Saab, Suleiman ji, who joined day after day and help us out in all this. And friends, the e-certificate will be available. The video will also be available. You have just to ping upon 8727857116. I repeat, 8727857116, and we'll be sending you across in a day or two. So till we meet next time, goodbye to all of you. Sayonara, please take care. And I wish all of you to be very healthy, have a good lifestyle, and be free with a very good body and a great mind. So namaskar, sayonara, and goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This cannot be.